Okay, guys, so this is the first lesson that we are doing in primary math with a video accompaniment. So, I believe you've already started decimals with Teacher Rod, and I think also your homeroom teacher, but I'm not sure. So, I think this will be revision for most of you. But what you'll need today is your Inside Out book. So, can you get that in front of you just now and open to page 99, please? Pause the video if you need to. Now, during this video, I might ask you some questions. If I ask you a question, I'll leave a little pause and you can try to answer as best you can. Okay? It's not quite the same as being in the classroom, but do try and say your answer out loud and see if you're right, okay? Next, because this is the introduction bit and there's lots of little exercises in the book, what I'll do is I'll tell you to pause the video at some points and do that bit in the book. So you can just leave the video paused. If you want to rewind and watch it again to help you, please do. I will try and leave, what are they called now? Timestamps, that's it, timestamps in the video description on YouTube. If I can. Okay, so let's get straight into it, shall we? So, decimals, well, decimals, that's all to do with tens. Decimal means 10. So it's all to do with tenths and things being chopped into 10 bits. So, here's a little chart that is showing us all of this together. Let me show you my fancy pen tool here. So, all of this together would be equal to 1, as it shows you down here. But each of these 10 pieces is 1/10. Oh, let's not use that. Instead, oops. Oh, okay, I did it. There we go. Instead, let's use our highlighter. So, 1/10 here. That's exactly the same as writing it 1/10 or writing 0.1. That's how we can say our decimals. We say them as the wholes, so it would be 0 or 35 or 3,000,006. And then this is our decimal point, so we say point. I think in Thai, is it jut? Jut? I'm not sure. But in English, it's point. And then you say the number of tenths. So you would say 0.1. Okay? Now, let's say there was another number, like 2, 3. These wouldn't be tenths anymore. These would actually be thousandths. But how you would say that is just 0.123. Okay? Not 0.123, 0.123. Okay? Anyway, we are not doing that in this little bit just now. We are just doing 0.1, 0.2, 5.3, 8.9, etc. Okay, so 2/10 is the same as 0.2. 3/10 is 0.3, and so on and so forth. If I asked you, how much is 7/10? Can you tell me? You're absolutely right. 7/10 is here, and it would be 0.7. Well, what about 0.5? How many tenths is 0.5? Exactly. 0.5 is 5/10. Easy peasy, right? So, can you pause the video now, and can you go down to, on page 99, can you do exercise 1? So just pause the video and quickly fill that in. In that exercise, you have to change tenths into decimals. Okay, right. Now we're going to move on to the next bit here. So here are some pictures. Oh, hang on. This is one big rectangle, and it's chopped into 10 smaller rectangles. Why do you think I've done that? Well, it's because decimals are all about tens. These are tenths. The big rectangle would be 1, but each small rectangle is 1/10, or 0.1. Yeah? So, let me change my to yellow. So, let's add up how many 0.1s we've got. We've got 1, we've got 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, or 4 parts over 10 pieces, or 4/10. All exactly the same. 0.4 or 4/10. So we just count the number of bits in our picture that are shaded, and as long as there are 10 pieces, or they are tenths, that will be how many decimals there are. Cool. What about this one? How many parts do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 over 10, or 0.7. Exactly. Beautiful. Okay, 0.7 or 7/10. What's this one, do you think? First tell me in tenths, and then tell me as a decimal. Okay, let's see if you were right. I hope you were right. Cool. Excellent. What about here? In this one, we've got one rectangle with all the squares shaded in, and one rectangle with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with 8. So that gives us 10 tenths, and how many tenths down here? 8 tenths. Cool. 10 tenths, that's the same as 1, right? 8 tenths is the same as 0.8. Exactly right. So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Good. So together, they make 1.8, or 1 8/10. Yeah? 1.8 or 1 8/10. Yeah? What about this one? What do you think this is? Well, you're right. We've got 1, 2 as wholes, so 1 and 2. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0.5. And if we add that all together, well, sorry, not add it all together. This would be another 1. Be 2.5. 1, 2.5. Easy, right? Okay, so before we get onto that, so let me just cleanse that. Can you, again on page 99, can you do section 2 there, please? So look at the pictures, see how much is shaded, and can you write that as a decimal, please? So is it 1 point something, 0.3? Okay. So just pause the video here. I'll give you, yeah, okay. Okay, we're unpaused. Next bit, please. So, now let's practice coloring in decimals, okay? So here we want to color 2.5. Oh, we did this on the other page. How many of these rectangles are we going to color all the way in? We're going to do 1 and then 2, because we've got 2 holes here. 1, 2. Oh, that wasn't very pretty. Yeah? And then down here, we only want to color 0.5, don't we? Or 5/10. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy. 1, 2, and then we've got 0.1. 1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Next, 1.7. Okay, so how many whole rectangles will we color in? 1. How many parts of the second rectangle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oop, missed the space bar. Excellent, easy peasy. What about this one? How many holes and how many parts? Indeed, 3 holes and 9 parts. Cool. So, can you, on page 100, just do exercise 3A and B? You can use a pencil or a colored pencil, up to you. And just pause the video here. Okay. Next. Cool. Let's talk about decimals as words, or part 4 here. So either you can write this as 8 and 5/10, or you can write it as 8.5. So the decimal point here, we would just say as point. Easy, right? 8.5. What about here? How would we write this? So again, our first number we would say normally. So this is 21. Point, yep, you're right. And 1. Excellent. 21.1. Well, what do we do if we've got a 0 here? We just say 0. So this one is 0.9. 0.9. Point we just spell as P-O-I-N-T. Point. Okay? Oh. So. Okay, so can we quickly go through exercise 4 there? So look at the number as it's written and then write that as a decimal. So, for instance, A, we're going to start with a 0, I imagine. Point something. Next one, 4.3. And if you've got a 2-digit number or a 3-digit number in the front, you just write that number as normal. So you could have 35.7 or 40.5. All that is absolutely fine. Okay? Cool. So I'm going to give you a second to finish that. So pause the video here and then start it up. Okay, guys, let's talk about place values. So, yes, as we know, our ones or our units go in the ones place, the tens go in the tens place, but our decimals come after the decimal place. So, let's say this is number 11, 110 and 11, as we know. Our decimal place is here to show us that anything afterwards is less than 1. Okay? We're not going to talk about hundredths today, but hundredths go further back here and tenths go here. So this would be 11.1 or 11 and 1/10. 110, 1 or unit, and 1/10. And then that would be 11.11 or 1/10 and 100th. So this time we've got no ones or 0.1. Ding. So that's 1/10 or 0.1. We've got 1/10 and 0 ones. Okay. So in this one, let's try and think about where we would put number. Sorry, let me just quickly write this. If we were going to do write it down here, 0.5 or 5/10. Where would we write that in? Would there be any tens? No. Would there be any, so let's just put a 0 here. Would there be any units? Or ones, sorry, would there be any ones? No, there wouldn't. Would we have any tenths? Oh, we would have 5/10, right? So we put a 0 here. We would write our decimal point in, and then we'd bring our 5 in. Easy, right? 0.5. 5/10. Beautiful. What about if we wanted 0.3 or 3/10? 0.3 or 3/10, right? Well, are we going to have any tens? No, we won't. 0. Will we have any ones or units? No. We'll need to draw our decimal point in, and then how many tenths will there be? Well, there'll be 3. So we write our 3 in the tenths. Okay? And again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So 3/10. Sorry. This time, I want to do 28.7. 28.7. So in 28.7, will we have any tens? Well, yes, we will. We will have 2 tens. 2 tens. Any ones or units? We'll have, if it's 28, we'll have 8 units. We'll need a decimal point, and we'll need how many tenths? We'll need 7/10. Easy. 28 and 7/10, or 28.7. Oops, let me just get rid of my scribbles, sorry. So that would be 2 tens, or 20, 8 ones, or 8, and 7/10. 28.7. Oh, I did it again. This time 57.2. How many tens? Well, there's going to be 57, 5 tens, 7 ones, or 7 units, and then how many tenths? If it's in 57.2, 2 tenths. Easy, right? Cool. All right, well, let's stop there for just now. Can you go down to section 5? Oh, did you do section 4 already? I'll need to check the video. Can you go to section 5, please? And can you write how many tens and ones are in each decimal? So you could do 0 tens and 4 or 7 ones, or 0 ones, etc. Yeah, so let's say we were doing, let's go back to, okay, let's go back to 0.3. So I would write this as 0 ones. Oh, that's hard to write. And 3. What are these? These are tenths. So 0 ones and 3 tenths. Yeah? What about for 28 tens? 28.7. Well, that would be 20, or 2 tens, 8 ones, and 7 tenths. Now, I expect your handwriting to be better than mine here. I am, after all, writing with a mouse. Okay, so that's the last part of today. So page 100 and page 99, both of them, please. If you have any problems at all, please do message online, and you can rewatch bits of this video as well. All right, that's all for just now. Thanks very much, guys.